Hi, and welcome to Courageously You with Martha. My dog welcomes you as well. So you are on. I'm so sorry. I am just a mess. My husband was exposed to COVID, and so now I have been. My brain is just kind of going somewhere else. I apologize. Welcome to Courageously You with Martha. We are on the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. I'm Martha Alexander, your host, and evidently goofed today, but that's okay. People love goofs, so it's all good. Today, I want to talk about finding abundance in a difficult situation, and in particular today, finding abundance in the divorce situation. How do I know anything about that? Well, my parents were divorced. And I can find the abundance for them, for both of them, even though my dad was heartbroken by the divorce. And I was a divorce attorney for decades. So I have real life stories of clients who eventually found the abundance in that terrible situation. And maybe some ways that neither my parents nor my clients found abundance. I believe that difficult situations in our life, and we're all going to experience them always. I mean, there's always going to be something, right? They're a way to grow. They're an opportunity that life is handing you to choose something else, to go deeper, to change your path, whatever it might be. So the topic I talked before, there's a show before about the gifts of a bully. That was a difficult situation. And yet there were so many things that were positive that came out of that situation just for me alone. So let's talk about the abundance and the opportunities in a divorce. First, what do you think? My first one is, if it's not working for one of you, it isn't going to work, right? If one of you isn't wholly invested, it's not a happy place to be. So it's an opportunity to look at your life and make a different choice. Maybe there are things, maybe you're a people pleaser, and when your spouse leaves, you get to choose who you are, right? It's an opportunity to stop and just collect who you are as an individual now. For my mom, she went back to school and became a professor. She got a PhD in psychology and became a professor. And she loved that. She truly, truly loved that. For my dad, he found a life that he enjoyed perhaps as much, if not more. He found a different city to live in, and as did my mom, with his new wife and their son, and had a lovely full life, played bridge, enjoyed all the things that he enjoyed that my mom didn't necessarily enjoy. For clients, I had a client once whose husband wanted the divorce, and she was devastated. And I do mean devastated. She cried every time she was in my office. And we spent a lot of time just talking about what opportunities were available to her. And after about 6 months, when divorces take a long time in California, she called me and she said, "You know what? I'm happier. This was a good thing for me." So what's hard about it is the change, right? The unknown, the uncertainty of where you're going to be. What's hard about a divorce is the funds that now you have one pile, right, that you put together that afford you more, and you're dividing it into two piles. And two piles, you know what? I just can't figure out my camera. Sorry. Two piles are each pile is less, right? If you divide it in half, each pile has 50% less. So that's a challenge. And yet, what can you do with that 50% that is now yours, that you get to decide about? There's an excitement to that. There's an excitement to a change in life. There's an excitement to something new, being able to change your direction and not ask somebody else, being able to focus on yourself. And sometimes in marriages, we don't focus as much on ourselves. We focus on the couple, or you focus on what your spouse wants or what your kids need or whatever it is. So when you get to that change, it takes a minute to switch that switch to say, where is it? Where can I find the joy? Where can I find the abundance? Now, abundance, for me, abundance is an energy that flows. Actually, I believe that's true for everybody. Not everybody acknowledges that. And in order to see it, you have to look for it, right? I've talked about this in a couple of things. You have to look in the situation. You have to look in your daily life and see where abundance is. Because I promise you, what you're going to hear from the attorneys, or from some attorneys, mediators, judges, whatever, and from society in general, is the scarcity that all of a sudden is there, right? You get scarcity mindset from ads, right? You need the next greatest thing and you need it now. You need, or you want, or you should want, right? And it's the next thing, and it's become kind of a disposable society, right? People upgrade their computers every few years instead of just holding on to it, because technology changes so much, right? So, and TVs and stereos and whatever, everything changes so often that we have this scarcity mindset that we always need something new, that we always need more. What if you took a minute and you looked at the things that were truly important to you? You picked 5 things that are truly important to you. They can be anything. They can be, relationship with yourself, your spirituality, relationship with somebody else, relationship with money, with community service, with education, whatever it is, whatever your values are, whatever you want to focus on. Find 5 things a day and look for the gratitude, look for the abundance, see the abundance in those things every day. Here's what that does for you. May sound silly. Here's what it does for you. When you look for the abundance and the gratitude in things, and have gratitude for things, your brain, when you do it every day, your brain is going to start to say, oh, I need to find these things. These are the things that I need to look for every day because I have to write them down. And all of a sudden, it's like when you're shopping for a car, right? And you talk about a red car. All of a sudden, you see red cars everywhere, or you see green or yellow cars everywhere. If I were to challenge you to look for a yellow car, you'll see 3 the next time you go out, because you're asking your mind to look for them. And your mind says, oh, okay, I'll look for them. So when you ask your mind, you start to ask your mind and train your mind that you're looking for things to be grateful for. That's what your mind's going to start to do. It's going to create a neural pathway that your mind on a daily basis looks for all the positives, all the benefits, all the abundance, all the the good things that you can appreciate in a situation. And if your mind is looking for those things, you're going to see more and more and more of them. And then what happens when you're starting on a daily basis to see the good and you're not looking for the bad? We're all trained to look for what's wrong with a situation, not for what's right with it. When you start to look at what's good about something, something magically shifts in your being. Your energy shifts because it's now positive. You're now looking for positive, happy things in a difficult situation. You're looking for how to see the bright side of any rainstorm, how to dance in the rain, if you will, how to celebrate the change in your life, even when it's scary. And I know change is scary. I do know that. I've suffered a lot of change, been through a lot of change, suffered, not so much. I did as a kid. As you know, change, you can go through a lot of change and see the good in it. You can be grateful for it. And that changes your whole being. That changes how you present in the world. It changes how you interact with other people, changes how you interact with all parts of it. So what are the benefits of finding the abundance in your divorce? If you have kids, finding the abundance means that you're okay. It means that they don't have to take care of you. They don't have to worry about you. If you don't have kids, the same is true for your family and friends, right? They don't have to worry about you. You're okay. You're going to be okay. And you are going to be okay. Your kids don't have to worry. Your kids can be okay. They'll start looking for that as well. And what's the one thing that we want for our kids? We want our kids, at least I want my kids, to have a happy, positive view. I don't want them to feel like everything is negative or everything's going to go wrong or, change is horrible or we can't get over it. What are other benefits to looking at the positive side? What about relationships? What about spending more time with other people that you care about that maybe you didn't spend as much time with? What about spending some time with yourself? When my kids were little, and this might sound horrible and y'all might not appreciate this comment, but when my kids were little, I had a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So they're very close in age. And I was already in my 40s. So when I started, it was a lot of energy. There were days I thought, my clients are sad when their kids aren't with them. And I can get that. And man, I'd give anything if my husband would just take the kids and go for a weekend. I would love a weekend to sit, to read, to get caught up on chores, to write, to do whatever it is I wanted to do, to not be on call 24/7. And I had a few clients who were like, yeah, my weekends off, I really value those. It's not to say you don't want to be with your kids. It's not to say anything else. It's good because when you are together, you have presumably and hopefully, right? You have that support system and it's not as big a deal. But when you're alone a lot, it is so nice. Look at the positives. Look at what you could do with those weekends off. It doesn't have to be tragic that your kids go somewhere else. And for them, it needs to be okay. That needs to be okay for them. What other things could be positive? So I love moving. I'm a gypsy at heart. So I'm already ready to move. We just moved in 2 years ago. I'm already ready. I've been ready for about a year. I love to move. So being in a house for 25 years was a long time for me, and it required remodeling and all kinds of stuff for me to stay in one place. Having less stuff and having your own way of doing something and no one else's opinion can be a positive. Having your own time, having your own space. There's a part of that that's really appealing. I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm saying look for the positives in it. Look for the positives. Look for the excitement. Look for ways that you can be happy in your situation. And that takes, I get it takes a minute. Again, 5 things a day written down that work for you, right? That work for you. 5 things written down that you find every day, and your brain will automatically look for those positives. Other positives in divorce. Just being able to be yourself, learning who you are if you're a people pleaser without somebody else there. If you're a people pleaser is someone who puts others' needs before their own. As women in our country, we're typically taught or indoctrinated in that idea that our job is that. And being an adult and in a place where you can say, wow, who am I? Who do I want to be? And how do I want to get there? Is amazing. Is amazing. And you can do it not in divorce as well. Of course, you can change. And there's just something about time on your own that is so beneficial and so healing. So look for those opportunities. Look for the opportunities. I have a client whose ex-husband, it was a very difficult divorce. She had a very hard time with it. And as she's looking for abundance and other things, she works with quite a few people, not just me, but as she looks for things, and as she works on finding those gratitudes and those things, she decided that she was going to support her husband's small business. That's a huge step, and that is really cool. What are the messages in doing that? The messages to the kids are, we're okay. And this is a good business and I support it. And your dad's fine. I'm going to do business with him. That is a bridge for your kids that is a miracle. It is a miracle for your kids. And it's a miracle for you, because as you look for ways that you are grateful on your own life, you can also look for ways, gratitude, or things that you appreciate. And it may be really hard in some cases. And yet I still challenge you to find ways that you appreciate that ex-partner. The lessons you learned. In my mind, I did a whole thing with someone who bullied me, someone who threatened to stab me. And I found I found 12 things I could be grateful for. 12 things I could be grateful for in that moment. If I can do that with someone who threatens me physically and grabs me, what are the things that support you? Did they teach you your boundaries? Did they teach you what you want and don't want in your life? Did they teach you, whatever it might be, those moments? You guys stay with me. We'll be right back. We're going to cut off to a commercial break, but I want to come back and continue the finding the abundance in difficult situations today, particularly divorce. You can reach me with questions, comments, whatever you want, at marthadalexander@gmail.com. That's marthadalexander@gmail.com, or at courageouslyyoucoaching.com. This is the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, and we will be right back after these short messages. Stay tuned. Don't leave me. Hey guys, we're back. This is Courageously You with Martha. I am Martha Davis Alexander, your host. I am here every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. You can catch us on Facebook or on YouTube, and there's always replays. You can always share it on YouTube. So do me a favor and hit like and follow on YouTube. Help a gal out. So today we're talking about finding the positive in a difficult situation, particularly today, the abundant divorce. So I'm not saying it's going to be roses. I'm saying find the silver lining in that cloud. The more you find that silver lining in any situation, the more positive, the happier, and the more joy-filled you'll be. And the more you will emanate those feelings to those around you. There was a period of time when I didn't do that, right? I am a people pleaser, and I became frustrated and upset and tired and resentful and all kinds of things, suicidal. And it took me it took me searching for what the positive things were in my life, changing my focus from all the things that hurt, or all the things that were difficult. The belief that I'm not likable, the belief that people don't like me and don't love me. All those things. And they're vulnerable and they're hard and they hurt, right? And there's a desperation in the air of a people pleaser that repels people. So I really do understand that tsunami of emotions, feelings that a major shift and a major change like divorce has on people, both from a child's perspective as well as from the family law attorney perspective. And what I want you to know is, in any situation, you got to find it, to get through it with joy, to get through it intact, to get through it with a viewpoint of abundance, with that energy and the view that it's okay. Everything's okay and you can handle it all. You have to look for the positive. You have to look for the abundance. You have to look for the gratitude. Well, all right, you don't have to. You get to choose to do that. So the choice to do that gives you a completely positive perspective on life, on what you're going through, on the situation. The choice not to, the choice to continue to view it as horrible, and if your spouse wanted the divorce as a victim, or from whatever perspective, right? It hurts those around you. It hurts you. It hurts those you come in contact with, because that energy, that chaos is with you wherever you go. So if you choose, you can change your divorce into an experience of abundance, into a positive change, into a place where you're happier than you were before, where there isn't the same, you don't have the same, look for the areas that the change is good, right? And find ways to make things that you miss happen again. I would be devastated. You're going to ask. I might as well just come out and tell you, no, nothing hidden here. I've been married for, it'll be 29 years this October. And there have been serious points where we have talked about divorce. One of us or the other of us. For whatever reason, we chose to look at the happy parts of the marriage and to try, right? We chose to look at the positive stuff of the marriage and try. If one party is not willing to do that, if my husband was like, no, I found somebody else and I'm walking, don't misunderstand me. I would be devastated. I would cry for days. My best friend would probably have to come hold my hand for a while. And some other people might have to hold my hand for a while, right? It would be devastating to me. And I'm not sure, because we have this plan, I'm not sure what my plan would be moving forward through that. And yet I fully believe that through that, I would find, first of all, I love looking for new places to live. So that's done. I don't know where. I don't know what that would look like. And I don't know what that would be. There's only a few things in our house that I am like, that's mine. And no, you can't have it. And I would miss him because he's my best friend. And I do have other friends. I would probably, I don't know. I have no idea what I would do. I know that it would be really difficult. And I for sure would choose to look at the positives every single day. Every single day. What could I take as a positive from this? Right? I would search for the abundance. I would search for what supported me, what positive things could support me. Having said that, that might offend some of you that I believe that I would do that. So let me just be really clear that I have been through some very difficult things when my parents divorced, right? I didn't know to search for the positive. I didn't know to do whatever. And I had some survival mindsets from that I had to let go of and choose to look for abundance. I have had, we lost a house and I had to search for the abundance in that. I was suicidal. Um, and I had to get out of that enough to look for the abundance in my life so that I didn't, no longer had suicidal ideations. We have struggled. We have survived. There's been death. There's been birth. I couldn't get pregnant, so we adopted. So it's not, don't misunderstand. I believe that in every life situation, every difficulty, whether it's death, whether it's birth, whether it's losing a friend, losing your house, whatever it is, I believe that if you look for the abundance, if you look for the silver lining, if you look for the lessons and the growth, you can experience and move through. You can have the grace and joy no matter what your situation is. That is the belief that I have. And I hope that if you're in the middle of divorce, if you're thinking about divorce, whatever it is, if it's been a long time since the divorce and you still have resentments, I invite you to look at where the abundance is in that situation. Where are the opportunities for you in that situation? What are the changes that benefited you? What are the opportunities for growth that you took, or the ones that you didn't take that you want to take now? Where can you find the gratitude, the appreciation, and the joy for what you have in your life, regardless of the difficult situation? So I am looking forward to your comments on this and a discussion. If anyone's here and you want to have a discussion, you can interact live. I am more than happy to have a discussion on my beliefs. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach me at marthadalexander@gmail.com or at courageouslyoucoaching.com. If you want to have a conversation, you can call me at 805-422-6865. I'm here and I'm open to discussing or open to helping you see where you can find the positive in the negative, because finding the positive will always put you in a better situation, in a better mindset, in a better frame of mind, and those around you as well can breathe a little easier. Be happy. Choose happy over angry. Choose joy over hatred. Choose love. Choose peace. And there are ways to do that. And that's what this is all about. Again, this has been Courageously You with Martha. I am your host, Martha Davis Alexander. I am a recovering attorney. I'm a money breakthrough business coach, and I'm a sacred money architect coach. So reach out to me if you want. This is WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. Be sure and subscribe, hit like. Join me on this journey of looking for abundance in all things, because it truly is a happier place to be. I'll be right back here next week at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and I look forward to seeing you then. Until then, have a fabulous and abundant life.